Start the recording. Yes. Hello, everyone. Welcome one more time to our new broadcast with my partner colleague from Miami, Svetlana. We've been talking for a while already how it's very important to avoid all kind of crises that we can have in our life. Of course, to live without crisis is just as a miracle, but the story is you need to be ready. Yeah. Whatever, it doesn't matter what happens in your life, have to navigate, have to use your date of birth as a navigator, yeah, in order to better to perform in your professional life, in your family, in any kind of field. And today we'll be talking about a very important topic as always. Yes, Svetlana?
Yes, the topic without which nobody can really do anything in life, even though it seems that we constantly are doing something, right? Everybody is acting. But the result of the action sometimes does not match our desire. Why, Vasili, we have that problem?
Yeah, because we have expectations. We have a lot of expectation in our subjective reality, and it starts with the two words, I want. And once you said like I want, woohoo, you have expectation.
That's true, but at the same time, when you want something, that is not an empty thing. It's something that gives you energy, gives you motivation, and most importantly, gives you a bigger picture. A lot of people do not have this ability to see a bigger picture. Why? Because bigger picture requires a lot of bravery. It is scary.
Yes.
What if I never get there? What if I get there and nobody likes me? What if somebody, my friends, will say, I don't want to be your friends? What if I can go to fancy restaurant? I cannot take my friends because I don't have enough money, but I want to go myself. So there is a lot of what if always attached to every desire, and therefore we always get stuck. But desire is the momentary thing. We will talk today about a long-term thing. Why is that important? Because long-term thing gives you the bigger picture. If you do not have a bigger picture, if you don't know what to do, it's only because you don't look far enough. Because in one day or in 1 month, you overestimate. You always have more expectation for the shorter period of time. But for the longer period of time, you don't really know. So it's hard to overestimate. But once you have that bigger picture, this is my superpower, this is my super life, this is my super idea, then the motivation kicks in, not just at the level, I want it, nobody gives me, but at the level, and what should I do about it? Because I have time, I have 5 years, I have 10 years, I have 3 years at least. 1 year is not enough time. But when you have this drive for 10 years, I bet you're going to do much better in 1 year because you want to bring that picture closer, right?
Yeah, at the same time, we can use two tactics, yeah? To be as a sprinter for the next 6 months or to run like a marathon for the 10 years. And of course, to run the marathon for the 10 years and to be able to achieve your goal, you really need to have a lot of energy.
Not just energy, but that energy has to be here, not just
Yes.
in your coccyx where we run without any understanding where, like a hamster in a wheel, but a lot of energy that can come up your spine and give you an idea that you can take this idea into the action. That leap is not happening for many people who experience crisis. And you know, we are crisis managers. I am anti-crisis reality architect. This is how I call myself. I like it a lot. Anti-crisis reality architect, because our reality is full of crisis. But crisis is not a problem. It's a sprint for the sprint, right?
Yes, yes. And we have another sprint colleague here, Vidas from Lithuania. Vidas, hello. Vidas, he is 7'7", Svetlana.
We are surrounded in sevens. Seven is the number that comes from the methodology of Sutsai. We have 9 different archetypes in Sutsai, nine different energies that move us.
Yes.
right? And both of us, Vasili and I, are both sevens, but Vasili is born on sevens, I'm born on 25th. So of course, we're different crisis managers, but we can create crisis and we can manage crisis. We create usually
100%.
crisis in our life, manage them in somebody else's life. Why? Because it's so much easier to manage somebody else. How is it with you people? Do you manage yourself or you manage other people? All the helping profession is helping other people. But I always say, who is the first in my line? Me, myself, and I. Because if I do not have strategy, which is the archetype of the sun, right? The sun is big and warm for everybody. So if I don't have a strategy that is big and warm for everybody, then I will not get big and warm as well, because we're not alone in this life. Right here, 3 sevens come together to manage crisis.
Yeah, and you're right. You're right. Most of the people, they don't fail because they're not smart. We're really smart. All of us, we're smart because we fail because we don't have strategy. And it's very important to understand because most of the people who was born after the 2000, they're gonna miss this competence of the strategy. And that's why it's very important to understand how we can work on it in order to have this competence active in our life. Because you don't need to go to university to activate it. You really need to come to our session and we can help you to activate this energy of the strategy. Because if there's no strategy, there is no way to go. You really don't see it. And we live in very interesting time. We have a lot of screen time, like spending a lot of time in front of screen. And if there is no rest for 21 minutes, we don't have this ability to get this kind of analytical part of our brain. And it's very crucial in order to achieve your goals. And that's why strategy as a competence, you really need to understand what does it mean and how to activate it and how to use it in your regular life or in your professional field.
But everybody has their own strategy. Don't think that strategy is one skill that is the same for everybody.
Of
Because
course,
we
of
are
course.
different people. Everybody lives their own archetype. You're born on a certain day, it gives you a certain archetype. You have a month, it's another archetype. It's how you move through life. When you get to your year, you can look into and how am I using those archetypes? And then when you get to the summary of all of it is, and what am I doing it for? Actually, the strategy of your life is within your birth date already, but it's not that simple. You can think 9 numbers, not a big deal, but we are not talking about numerology only. We're talking about
Yeah.
archetypal movement of the hero through the life. We are the hero of our own movie, right? If the producer of the movie does not know the whole thing to the end, then the movie is going to go forever and it will not be interesting to anybody, right? In order for you to see this movie, in order for you to be engaged, and now we have serious 10 seasons of the same thing. This is, by the way, our third season. We had 2 seasons.
Yes. Third
Yeah.
season, yeah.
Yeah. So in order for anybody to be interested, there needs to be a conflict, there needs to be a crisis, there needs to be the resolution at the end, preferably happy ending, because if you are always in despair at the end of the movie, you don't really want to see another movie from the same producer because it's depressing, right? And this is how we build our life. The strategy is the end result, the superpower, the super result I want, but for whom? That's a big question. Because if your husband is this, and you're that, and your children this, and your son is that, and your daughter is that, everybody has their own superpower end result, right?
Yes.
We cannot go to the same result. At least in a family, the husband and the wife want the family. At least we can build around the family. But even that doesn't happen because the husband has this idea of the family and the wife has this idea of the family. And that's where communication skill, for example, would be needing. But if the husband and the wife, for example, do not understand that the strategy is not about love me, be with me, buy me gifts, give me the car. The strategy is to hold the family together. This is the strategy. The rest of it is the tactic. The husband can give you a gift and you can cook the pie. But the strategy is not about that. right? Same thing in a business, same thing in a relationship, same thing in your vacation. If you don't know where you're going, how can you buy the ticket? That's the tactic, right? So first of all, we need to understand who we are. For that, you can listen to our first 2 seasons or come to personal consultation.
Yes.
Because who we are, you cannot get 100% understanding from the free content. We are happy to share, but when you have something free, you are cooking, cleaning, listening to a broadcast of the news and listening to the free content because it has no value for you, but there is a value. We are all about value. We would not be talking if we would not have a value.
Yeah, for the last 4 years, I personally have been working with these tools, and they're really helpful because when you understand who you really are, what kind of strategy you usually use in your way to achieve your goals, to build your communication with all the members in the family or at work, for you is going to be much, much clearer what you really need to improve. And personally, this week, in the beginning of this week, I was working with some documents with regarding to 12 people. This is the holding, business holding. And last year I gave them as a business consultation how to grow their business through the 2025. And this Monday, we had the second opportunity to work together. And it's so interesting. Once you start understanding and implementing in your life, just regular stuff, just little things, your communication will improve 100%. Why? Because you have your particular way to build your strategy, to approach other people, to sell your stuff, to communicate. We all have our own strategy and we don't understand it and we don't see it from our subjective reality. But what we really need to understand, how other people see me on objective reality, the way I talk, the way I approach to another people, the way I can avoid crisis, I can see crisis, and the way I can handle all of them. And it's not easy when you in the middle of the crisis, when there is no energy, where to start with? You don't know really. And that's why we have all these kind of tools that can help you to see it as a forecast. Yeah.
How do you know that you do not have energy? It's a very simple answer to this question. If you're irritated, if you do not have motivation, if everything you think about and you get tired just from thinking about it, where you think I should have done better or I should have done differently, when you look at the goal but you don't know the steps to the goal, that means that you do not have enough energy to execute. And usually good ideas go unmaterialized just because of that. You do not have enough energy to materialize, even if you have an idea energy. So we always recommend first to take care of your physical body, because that's your temple, that's where things are happening. I personally live with essential oils. I don't use drugs because my body cannot take it. I'm really empathic. I can feel and smell, and everything for me is an extra sense. So I avoid extra stuff in my body. But essential oils for me is the savior. If you're interested, I'll tell you more later. Just write me down. But write down your questions. But what I think is when you are in a state of love, I use essential oil, rose. When you're in a sense of love, you are always loving everything. Not just yourself, but not this person. But it's a state. The state has nothing to do, I love you, I want you, give me something. If you are in a state of fresh mind, peppermint, for example, you are fresh. You can look at the things creatively. When you are in a sense of exhaustion, right? In this moment, you can use any, for example, ladon, the frankincense, is the most amazing because it's a master oil. So first you need to take care of your physical body. You need to walk every day. You need to drink every day. I yesterday spent about an hour and a half in the Epsom salt bath just because I was exhausted by the end of the day. Why? Calendar. I am in month 7. If you remember me last month was month 6, I loved everything. I was so happy. I was constantly jumping to any opportunity. I was dancing a lot. This month, I'm dead, half dead. So I need a lot of support for myself. And then when your physical body is okay, your mental state catches up, because now you're not deciphering why it's hurting, why that is happening. Now you're looking into the world as a state of opportunity, because now you have energy to take this opportunity. A client of mine is in a very different time belt, time
zone,
sphere, time zone, time zone. And she's trying to catch with everything that's going on in our groups here. So she doesn't sleep. And I told you, I'll give you every recording you want in the world, and I give you special time. Do not come to our meetings. But I'm missing opportunity. I'm like, that's great. But if you're missing opportunity, is outside of you. If you're missing you, that is inside of you. And that will end up in a very bad situation. So she stopped doing that for 2 weeks. She smiles for the first time. I didn't know she knows how to smile. She was always because she was trying to keep her eyes open.
Yeah.
So how do you deal with your energies on you? Calendar comes, month 7 comes, but it's on you how you handle it.
And when you were talking about to drink warm water, yes, Svetlana, because we drink.
Tea is okay too.
All right. Yeah, it's very important. It's very important because when there is opportunity, you really need to take it. Yeah, and when you don't have this energy, you cannot see it even. Yeah, and we all have this kind of fear of big decisions. Sometimes it comes to the point we really need to take this decision. It doesn't matter how big it is, but you really need to take responsibility. And we have a lot of fears. Yeah, the most important is like being wrong, or maybe I'm wrong this time, or fear of responsibility. And we have a particular dates of birth that really don't want to take this responsibility by nature, because they really want to find somebody else, take responsibility. And that's why it's very important to build our inner foundation in order to take these big decisions and to grow. Today I was walking. I did 17,000 steps today, this morning. And I could feel it right away. And at one point I got this kind of thought that we are not moving, we're not doing anything because we don't believe I can get it. It's okay just to think, maybe I really want, but I don't believe it. I really hope, I'm hoping, but hoping it's coming from outside. When you believe in yourself, when you raise your energy, when you understand your competencies, it's really like the best formula when you put everything together. And today I was doing like on TikTok, stream in Russian. And there was like every second questions. Money, money, money. I lose money, money. I cannot attract money. Everything related to the level of our energy. That's why in our days we have a lot of information. Just on the distance of our finger, you can find like kilobytes of information. Like, is it helpful? You really need to answer it. And everything started with your date of birth. I will be repeating one more time, yeah, because I really see the results. And guys, we really invite you to go closer to this topic, because to be like very open, not everyone is open, like you, Svetlana, and me, and like readers. But do you believe it or not? It does exist. It does exist, and it's really affects our results and the way we act and the way we like attract all the things in our life.
We really live in 3 realities. The reality of I want, our subjective reality. I want it, I want it, I want it, I want it. And it's a lot of passion, but not enough information from your personal experience. You need to have an experience with things, but you're scared of experience. So that's where understanding where you're good at comes from, to help you
Mhm.
Okay, I will not fail because I do have that competency. Because very often we take ourselves for granted. We decided that because it's easy, it's not valuable. Who cares? Because I can do it all the time. Other person cannot do it. For them, it's valuable. So we often disregard our skills, and we never go learning about who we are, not just who am I, what's my destiny. This is very good, nice storytelling. I do it a lot. I love storytelling. Through the storytelling, you understand how the same situations, some same archetypical stories were unfolding back in the day, because every storytelling is about a human experience. So you can get a lot of experience from that, but also you need your own experience. When you work with the coach, not AI. I love AI. I work a lot with AI. But AI is reflection of your consciousness. So the questions you ask are the questions you already know the answer for. Therefore, when AI gives it to you, you go, yay, because it resonates, right? So right now it's very popular to be coached by AI. Great, wonderful. You bring to the surface what you already know. What you do not know, you cannot ask for, because you don't know what to ask for. That's a very powerful understanding that I am having these days, because I see my clients, after I give them something, they go to AI and they come back. And I can only sit and laugh, because it's exactly what I told them. But now they ask the same question with the same words, and I give them the same answer. AI affirmed you. I'm like, I'm so happy that AI affirmed me, but I didn't use AI to tell you. So the most important thing is to ask the question, because within the question is the answer. But if you don't know what to ask, you do not get the answer. And therefore, working with somebody who can look you in the eye and through the field that machine doesn't have, unfortunately, yet. Maybe in the future, AI starts producing electrical field, not the one that kills you when you sit in front of the screen, but the one that gives you the support. I have a client, she was in my mentorship, and now she's my co-creator. Why? Because in my field, people go very fast. And I was just telling Vasili this story, that we decided time to go to social media. And in her Instagram, she had 800 people. And I said, okay, we can do 200 in a couple days. So we did this blast to the people we know, and we got 125 subscribers in one day. And for somebody who only talk to people, who doesn't go to all this Instagram rooms and ask random people, sign for me, I'll sign for you, only using the relationship building abilities. We will help you, you
Yeah.
will help, we will collaborate. Only doing this is a very human thing. But right now we are all succumbing to this idea that artificial intelligence will do it for us. Yes, but artificial intelligence does not give you the strategy that you need. It gives you a broad understanding of strategy. You are a different person. For example, if you're born on 1st, 10th, 19th, 28th, you have the competency embedded in your genetic code. You know how to look at the bigger picture. You know how to bring the people together under your wing and command them. But if you are born on the 2nd, for example, or 11th or 20th, you might not have the same kind of strategy. Your kind of strategy would be, and I'll build a lot of relationships, and through them, I will get what I need. But if you're born, for example, on the 3rd or 21st or 12th or the 30th, you will not have that strategy. Your strategy would be, I will analyze everything, and from that I get my strategy. So we all have different things, but we're using the strategy and the goals and priorities from our neighbor. That neighbor does that, therefore I'll be successful as well. And how many businesses fall apart, I cannot begin to tell you. So our question is, what is mine to do? And what is the point of growth that this week, this day, I'm missing? What do I need to grow?
Yeah, today I was also talking with one of my client regarding what happens when you go to any practice, to any trainings. The trainer, coach who delivers the speech, you really need to understand what is his date of birth. because we cannot talk about other things other than what you have in your date of birth. And we're talking about Robert Kiyosaki, who wrote this incredible book, Poor Dad, Rich Dad. Yeah. Can you imagine how many books were sold? Millions. And how many like of them were very useful? I also bought this kind of book, but I didn't get anything from there. Why? Because my numbers are 7-4. But Robert Kiyosaki is number 8. And in order to get some useful stuff, you really need to understand this kind of things. Another big coach and trainer, um, Tutu,
Tanya Robinson.
Tony Robbins. Yeah, he also talks about relationship because he's Tutu. He cannot speak about like money and how to attract material world, but he really needs to. He really can show how to attract this money through building relationship with other people, and he's the best example of that.
Yeah, he actually signs up the contracts with the people that he's teaching how to build relationship. He builds the relationship, and then he becomes their coach for the percentage of the new growth that he's doing.
Yeah, future
So
growth. Yeah,
yeah, so he has a lot of companies under his wing, but all he's doing is building the relationship. And by the way, the strategy of building the relationship is a major strategy, because the money come from people. They don't fall
yeah,
from the, or don't grow on the trees. They do come through the relationship. And if you understand what is your talent and how your strategy is important to the rest of your team, for example, if you're in a business, then you can build the team with all the strategic and conscious thinking in very particular way. If you only have everybody is 2 and 3, that would be one team. If everybody is 4 and 7, that would be a disaster. But if you have 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm talking about not only the day of birth, but also the
yeah,
mission, which is the what you want to do is one thing. What you're actually doing is a whole different thing. That's where the crisis arises, because you want this, but you do something exactly opposite. And when we're coming together, and when we analyze the businesses, Vasily and I, we look exactly at that. Who is in your HR? Oh, you have 7 in your HR? Good luck to you. Because 7 will go to chaos, however wonderful that 7 might be, and how much that 7 is working on herself or himself. The crisis will be, that's the way of living, because we experience crisis in order to teach others about crisis. But if you have 6 in HR, everybody will be smiling in your office. So you
yeah.
need to understand. And again, we are dropping the numbers just to intrigue you, really. Because we already thought about numbers many times. And if you are signing for the first time to this channel, or if you have a question and you will directly connect with us, we will send you a guide, a special guide about every number as a
Yeah.
gift. And this could be in Russian or in English, whatever works for you, because we are bilingual. And once you have a guide, you can look at your husband and understand his strategy. And you can look at your child. In my family, the child is 2. You should see that child. It wraps you around his finger. Manipulation after manipulation after. And he makes this the cutest face you can find. And 5 seconds later, it's a monster you've never seen. And it depends
Yeah.
who he's talking to. And the same thing happens in the business, by the way. If you look in the business, you'll see those people who are now grown up, but still children.
100%, guys. And I also had this experience working with one company, and the HR manager was A3. A3. It's not easy. It's tough. As a HR manager, very tough person. And guys, if you run your business, you really need to understand how to build your team. What's the best time for you and for your company? Because you have your personal year for yourself, and also you have a personal year for your company. And this kind of all analysis we can do during our private sessions. And let us know if you have any questions. We can do it like organize online. And if you really want, we can go on a Zoom and have a plan. how to grow together, how to build your team in order to save and keep the energy very active and use it in order to grow your business without limits.
Absolutely. And we have a team. So if you want to, you can have one coach or a few
Yeah.
coaches. And everyone has their own expertise. Why? Because we are born on a different day. We have different missions. And we
Yeah.
were talking a lot about the numbers. So I think we should give them a little gift of tiny understanding. One is the strategist. Second is psychologist and who can help you understand yourself. Three is an analytic. Four is the innovator. Five is communicator. Would you like to continue? Six.
Six is creator, yeah, can create from the scratch. Seven is implementer, who can realize very, very fast. Eight is a controller, who can control the process. And nine is a helper, service, who can help protect and all this kind of thing that's related with our life.
Right. And in our team, I am seven, so I'm a methodologist, first realization crisis manager, but my mission is nine, which is promotion. And I can see an idea, I can see who can create this idea, I find that person, and I move this person with the idea forward. And Vasili, explain what you do.
I'm 7-4. I can find a creative way to resolve your any questions, and I am a creative crisis manager by nature, and it's really powerful.
Yeah.
I can
Within
say.
our team, we also have other numbers because
Yeah.
sometimes somebody who's number six can tell you the same thing in a way that warms your heart, and some can tell you something straightforward. And if you're six getting information from seven, you will feel a little ruffled. But if you are seven listening to six, you'll be like, I want it to go faster. How long? Right? So we have solutions for every problem.
Yes.
Just because we have tools and experience with this kind of, we're not offering you everything. We're offering you one concrete thing. Life is full of crises, which are also the points of your expansion and growth. So if you look at the crisis as an opportunity to connect with something you don't know, ask questions, get to know things, get to the next level of your life and your mission and your action and your desires, by the way, then we're here for you.
Stay tuned, guys, for our next broadcast. Will be next Thursday. Ciao.
Thank you for listening and thank you for participating, Vasili.